Hello there! Welcome back to Yubi Studio. I'm Yubi and I brought a mixed media photography art tutorial. I specially made this vlog just to really give you the informative and the technical part of my mixed media photography because I have been getting many questions and I thought it'd be great to do a whole video just to talk about what I use and how I work. So first of all, as you see, I use only my photographs. I basically make a collage out of my photographs first. And yes, I have a center figure first. And then according to the figure, I decide on what kind of botanicals, what kind of other elements such as animals or plants or flowers or a background. It kind of goes from the figure, I guess. And usually I print on thick photo papers. It kind of varies time to time, but the best photo paper that I really like is the 300 GSM watercolor paper or Epson matte presentation paper. They both work fine in any kind of printers because what printer I have at home, it's just a very basic photo Canon paper that carries maximum letter sized papers. After I print them, I usually print a lot of photographs at once and kind of go choosing in the midst of a big bunch, and I choose out the flowers and I choose out the background, whatever that is. And when I collage them, as you see, I kind of make a big space and plane kind of collide together in between the figure, and I kind of think about it as a ground and the mid-air part and the sky, as you see. I work a lot of fabrics and I use the fabric in different places, in this case as her dress, or sometimes as the whole top, or sometimes I cut off a part of a fabric and just put it on part of the landscape. It kind of depends, but I do like to really enhance the three-dimensional quality of the fabric. So I like to kind of push them and smear them. And as you see here, I printed the hand part and stuck on it again just to make that hand kind of sit on top of the fabric. Then I usually try to decide on how the garment part, or let's say the physic part, or the form of the body part, kind of decide what color. I usually have a color palette that is already set, or because I do a lot of collections, I kind of pull out the palette from the previous work, or I make a color palette according to a movie scene, because there is an actual color palette creating app. And here I did decide to make the figure kind of blend in to the background. I don't usually have a specific plan to decide on what kind of landscape or where does the fabric go or where does the body kind of flow in. I do personally like elements that's kind of blending together, such as hair kind of flowing out and vanishing in the sky, and also I like body kind of blending together to the background. Usually the first few layers, probably first 1 or 2 layers, I don't really care too much about a specific color because, as you see, it kind of builds on, and I think I kind of go until I build up on the layer over a layer until it kind of feels like it's finished. So I can't say how many layers I do because during the layers I kind of see if this is bright enough or if there's midtones and if there's dark tones. And here I'm using modeling paste. Modeling paste is my favorite medium here. Modeling paste is kind of like the bridge between my photographs and the bottom panel. So if I like that photograph or the collaged photograph part kind of coming out from the panel, I leave it. But if I kind of want to merge that two together and make the plane kind of draw in as one, I make the modeling paste in between so they would merge together naturally. I do want to recommend, if you are wanting to use modeling paste that dries really well and creates that crusty look, I do recommend the Liquitex brand. That's the first modeling paste I ever use, and I think how it dries, it works best. And this is the hair part. As you see in this scene, I am creating a hair that is like a historical hair from the Korean Joseon period. And after the modeling paste dries, I put paint over the hair. And hair is very important to me because it's the darkest area in the painting, and it's usually the central point of the painting, which draws the most attention. And depending on how the hair looks, depending on how the hair turns out, I think it really controls how the whole painting looks. And usually I don't necessarily use black. I usually mix ultramarine blue and brown to kind of draw that dark bluish brown or brownish blue. It kind of depends every time because it depends on the ratio. And I usually do the hair first before I retouch on the background, because as you see, my modeling paste is still drying there, because after the hair dries, because the hair is so dark, it's easier to mix with the background after the hair is done. I think when I really think about facial features and hair and kind of details on the body parts, I do try to make the figure of the photograph remain a little bit like a photograph, but some part kind of like a painting. I don't know that perfect point. But when I kind of go slowly on really painting it, I kind of get to a point where there's that midpoint that kind of looks like a photograph and kind of looks like a drawing. Here I'm actually using plaster. Plaster is way thicker than molding paste, and plaster is literally the plaster where you use on a wall if you have holes in it before you move out of the apartment. You just I have the plaster of Paris. It comes in a powder, and just put water according to how liquid you want. I usually go really thick like this because it dries like rock, and when it dries like rock, it creates that amazing texture. And I love just putting modeling paste or plaster wherever there's space, because that texture gives emotion and vitality of the work. Next, I'm doing the facial features, and in this case, her prints, the facial tone was darker than I thought, so I bring it up and I use oil pastels and small ink pens and color pencils. And I know it does take layer by layer to make the facial features kind of turn out without looking too exaggerated, but if you have a good blender, like I'll use oil pastel blenders, or you can just use tissue or Q-tip ends, they kind of work well to blend in well with the photograph. depending on what kind of photograph paper that you printed on, it blends differently, but the paper that I recommended blends really well. And I do touch on the eyes and the nose and the lips, of course, and my cheeks, of course. And then after that, as everything's dried, I go with the background. And I think the midpoint here is always the face, because according to how the face and the hair turns out, it kind of gives me an idea of what to do with the background, because the central element is the person, and as I see the imagery of the person is giving, now I can decide on the second or the third layer of the background, and I kind of go with it. And in this case, her skin tone turned out really soft and kind of milky in a way, so I did choose palette that was a little bit pastel and a little lighter than the first layer. After I did all the background and the facial features and the hand as well, I decided to add a little bit of floral crown on her. And as you see, just I mentioned in the beginning, I do print a lot of photographs at the same time, and I kind of go from there, choosing by step. So in this step, I thought it'd be nice to have something central on her head, and I had a photograph that was just running around, and I decided to make her a little crown. And I am enhancing her lips, and usually color pencils work the best in terms of really sharp and detailed facial features. And here I'm enhancing the color of her clothes, because I'm kind of pushing these days to make my garments look like hanbok, which is traditional clothing. So, which is a little dilemma as well, because I like my format of clothing kind of like flowing, but because hanbok it does have a specific feature, I'm trying to find a way to really compromise that point. And here I'm adding the lightest point with white to kind of create kind of like a cloud look. I just don't really know until I kind of paint it really, but I thought making that higher area or upper area brighter will more enhance her face and attention to the left side of the flower. Especially working on white, because white comes the lightest point of the work. I usually go layer by layer throughout the process, so I would have probably like a fifth or third layer at the end of it, and I make the white pop out as much as possible. I'm going to make the ribbon of the hanbok, which is called chogori, and I just cut off a small piece of the same fabric that I use for the dress. And what I do, chogori, is you make a ribbon, but you pull out one side of the ribbon of the bottom part, and it only creates one ribbon head. So that's how I mimic the chogori. And after that, I used glue gun to really add those dried flowers. Dried flowers is a really important part of my work as well, because I dry flowers myself. I even have a wooden dried flower panel in my closet, or I just dry them in my room and I let it sit for a while and it just dries. And in this case, I thought the baby's breath would be perfect for side of her empty spaces. And I love that flowy emotion or motion that the little baby's breath heads are kind of flowing out. I think dried flowers add a really good dimension to the work because it's other element than fabric that really pops out of the panel, and because it's dried, it kind of gives that nostalgic and vintage look that I always try to input in my artworks. My signature is kind of simple. I'm just spelling U in Korean in a square. It might change sometimes, but I am kind of pushing the Oriental Asian look in my work, so I thought it'd be nice to add the Korean language. Thank you so much for tuning in for this long art tutorial. I hope my informative and technical things that I shared really help your mixed media journey. For me, as a photographer, mixed media photography art is an amazing way to really reuse and re-see my own photographs in a more artistic and craftsy way. So if you are looking for a new practice like this, I hope my ways are very informative and fresh to you, because these techniques are something that I really investigated from many practices and many trials and many explorations. If you have any questions, please email me or comment down below. I would love to share what I use, how I do, and the inspirations that I have, and I always encourage your own art journey. Thanks for coming today, and see you in the next video. Bye!